spacecraft, and it will travel 4.24% the speed of light on its 100-year journey to Proxima Centauri b.
Mankind was born on Earth. It was never meant to die here.
In which direction will the spaceship travel? And how will it generate artificial gravity? Will the population grow on board the spaceship, the Helianthus, over the next 100 years? What happens to bacteria in a closed-loop system? And what will the time dilation be once they arrive at the new planet? And what happens on board the Helianthus spaceship for the last 30 years of the journey to make sure that the passengers are adapted to the different living conditions on Proxima Centauri b, such as the higher gravity and the red light coming from the new sun? But why is the spaceship going to this specific planet, Proxima Centauri b? Because it is the closest habitable planet to Earth, at only 4.24 light-years away. And with its nuclear fusion engines, the Helianthus will reach Proxima Centauri b in 100 years. There are 1,800 passengers on board, and the journey starts now. The spacecraft launches from high Earth orbit, firing up its nuclear fusion drive. It takes 15 days to accelerate under 1 g to reach the cruising speed of 4.24% the speed of light. And then comes the big spin. The Helianthus has passed Mars and is on its way to the asteroid belt next. Using its nuclear fusion engine, it took under 2 hours to pass the Moon and 14 days to pass the orbit of Mars. It is heading downwards 2.1 degrees below the ecliptic plane of the solar system. Earth and other planets go around the Sun almost like a flat disk. The star system of Proxima Centauri b is below this disk. That is why the spacecraft is on a downward flight path. 15 days have passed since launching from Earth. The engines have turned off. The spacecraft is now cruising at 4.24% the speed of light, and will do so for the next 99 years. Now begins the spin maneuver. Thrusters on the outside of the Helianthus fire up. With a diameter of 750 meters, 2,460 feet, about double the length of an aircraft carrier, the outer ring rotates and spins. To generate 1 g of artificial gravity, it needs to spin 1.9 rotations per minute. After reaching 1 g, the same as on Earth, the spin thrusters turn off and the Helianthus habitat ring will keep spinning for the rest of the trip. This is due to the conservation of angular momentum in space. The Helianthus command deck now brings the main living facilities online, from the schools and virtual reality theaters to the medical facilities, birth centers, and gardens. There are also multi-level aeroponic vertical farms within the spinning habitat ring, as well as DNA, data, and crop seed storage vaults. Inside the bedrooms, the passengers reattach the living modules from the now walls down to the floor. When the spacecraft was accelerating, the G-forces were pushing down towards the engine. Now, with no more acceleration, the spinning is used to generate artificial gravity, pushing outwards, so the floor changes to the inside sides of the ring, with any windows designed into the now floor. The habitat ring rotates around the hollow core of the Helianthus. This hollow core, which has no gravity because it is not spinning, is used for cargo storage, including space shuttles that will be used by the future generations of passengers in 100 years' time to land on the new planet. 4 days after the big spin, the Helianthus is now approaching the asteroid belt. This is not like the movies. The asteroid belt is not dense. The asteroids are not close together, they are far apart. The average distance between asteroids in the asteroid belt is almost 1 million kilometers, 600,000 miles. This is over 2 times the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Even though the Helianthus is traveling 2.1 degrees below the ecliptic plane, the majority of asteroids are within about 10 to 30 degrees, so the spacecraft still passes through the asteroid belt. A path is plotted to avoid the asteroids. In any case, the Helianthus has been designed with protection against asteroids and the future elements that it will face. The front of the Helianthus has been built with reinforced layers, since interstellar dust and gas clouds will vaporize and erode around a millimeter of depth every 4 light-years. Tracking sensors and lasers are used to deflect larger micrometeorites, changing their trajectory away from the oncoming ship. and clearing a path. The helianthus is out in the vast darkness of interstellar space, the region between the stars, filled with dust, clouds of gas, cosmic rays, and rogue planets. The spacecraft left Earth's solar system over 1 month after launching on its journey, passing by the orbital distances of Jupiter, the rings of Saturn, Halley's Comet, the Kuiper Belt with Pluto, and crossing the heliopause. It is now in interstellar space, heading for Proxima Centauri b. The command deck keeps close tabs on passenger population numbers. When the helianthus left Earth, there were 1,800 people on board. This number will grow to under 4,500 during the 100-year journey to Proxima Centauri b. On board the ship, there are 1,300 adults. 300 of these adults are the parents of the 300 children already on board. About half of the children turn into adults after 10 years, and about 33% of the adults become elders every 10 years. There is an average lifespan of 80 years, and 33% of the elders aged 50 to 80 who bring wisdom and experience to the population pass away every 10 years. The onboard biologists keep track of the evolution of bacteria on board the spacecraft to prevent the collapse of the ship's biosphere. This is because all of the bacteria on the ship is evolving in a closed-loop system much faster than the humans. Bacteria reproduce much faster, so there will be thousands or tens of thousands of new generations per year depending on the type of bacteria, and there are possible mutations as they evolve.